Hello everyone, welcome back to Unity Codes. This is part 11 of our series, and this is the second last video of the series. It might be the third last, depending on if we implement sound. Now, no, this is the second last part. We will do sound in this video as well. That's okay. Well, first thing I'm going to do today is I'm going to go into my player, and I'm going to remove the eyeball. I am going to go scroll down and find my spreadsheet, which is here. And you'll see I did name all of mine. In the last video we went over this, and there is a separate video implementing sprites and stuff. Just, if this looks confusing, caught you off guard, just go back a video. Everything's that you need to know. Now, in here, we have player idle 1. That is the one I'm going to use. So I'm going to click on my square. I'm going to take player idle 1. I'm going to drag it onto him. There we go. I'm going to take the green off, put it like that. I'm going to take the jump zone and camera and drag it out for now. I'm going to go into my player. I'm going to remove the box cutter 2D he has. And then I'm going to take a scale, make it 1.5, 1.5, maybe a little bit bigger. No. Let's just do 1.5 for everything. I know it's a little bit small for a player, but I'm going to keep it as that. Going to create a box cutter 2D. And there you go. I'm going to take my jump zone, my camera, I'm going to drag it back onto the player. And now it's like nothing ever changed. One thing I might change a little bit is take my jump zone and I'm going to move it down slightly. I'm going to take the scale of the box cutter on the x-axis and just drag it down a little bit. More so like there. There you go. And you'll see if I press play, it is still going to work as normal. Oh, sorry. You will see one issue which I'll approach now. As you can see, when we move, our scale switches back to 1 because of our script on how to flip. Now, this is a very easy change, and all you have to do is open your player script. And in here, all you're going to do is you're going to take this 1 and make it a 0.5f. So now it's 1.5f. You're going to copy this, replace all the ones of it, make sure this stays as negative 1.5f. And of course, if you don't change the scale of it, just leave it as 1. But now you'll see if you press play and move player left to right, he stays the same size. Very nice. Okay, now we can see one issue already, and that is that the player's feet are a little bit too high. So what we're going to do is we're going to go on top player. We're going to take his box cutter 2D, edit it, and we're going to move it up just slightly. It's just so the player fades into the terrain a little bit better. That might still not be perfect. Let's actually move it up a little bit more because it doesn't matter too much if it fades in a tiny bit. And there you go. So now we're going to actually make a level of sorts. I'm going to delete this, the ground. Remember to always hit Ctrl S and save your project while you're working. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my prefabs and go to my grass. I'm going to take them all, drag them in. I'm going to delete the single block. And just to make things faster, I'm not going to use the metal blocks. Actually, no, I will use them. Now, what I'm going to do is how to work this. I'm almost going to use this like a painting palette, and I'm going to move them down and leave them there. And then I'm going to work from here. So all you're going to do is you're going to take whatever you want, set it to this block, hit Ctrl D, duplicate it, move it to more or less where you want it. Go to your other block, hit Ctrl D, move it to where you want it, Ctrl D again, move to where you want it. Take your other block you need, move where you want it. Remember, you can do this however you want. This is just me doing this. You can literally do whatever you want. You can make the entire level just center blocks. It doesn't matter. But for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to use multiple different blocks and make them different sizes. Ctrl D, and all you do is you hold down I didn't say this, but I did in the last video, so it shouldn't matter. All you do is hold down V, and while using this tool, the shaping tool, you can just snap things to nearby, well, things. So these blocks I can just snap to each other. Very simple to do. You can see it's snapping to the camera. But yeah, as you can see, it's very easy to do, very simple. It gets a little tedious if you're going to make big levels. Yes, it's going to be tedious, but this tutorial is just to show simple things. What you can do is you can make a few different small platform shapes. You can make more prefabs. I'll actually show you how to do this. So let's just say we make a small platform, right? We're going to do this. We're going to make a tiny little, we're going to make 5 blocks wide. Take like this. Actually, no, we're going to make it even smaller. We're just going to go straight to the bottom blocks. Snap them on. Control D. Snap them on. Now, I did link this sprite sheet in the link of the last video, but I'll link it in this one again if you didn't use it. If you didn't know how to do sprite sheet stuff and how to implement it and everything, just follow along. But as you can see, now you have this little platform of sorts. Now, all you're going to do is you're going to make a empty game object, call it platform small or medium. I mean, this isn't that small. You just move this into about there, center, doesn't really matter. You take all the objects inside of it, well, all these objects, you drag them into the empty object, and as you can see, you have this platform. Very easy to use. Give it a box size 2D, change the scale to whatever you want. I know this isn't a perfect box. It doesn't perfectly outline everything, but it's just for the sake of a quick shot of how to do it. There we go, we'll make it kind of perfect. And now, there you go. Now you have a very simple platform. You can make as many of these as you want. You can close the little window, Control D, and now the player can jump on these. Now, you can take this, and in your grass folder, you can make a new folder, call it platforms. Take your platform, drag it in. That's the wrong place, sorry. Platform small, put it in the platforms folder. Now, that's a very easy way to do it. You can make levels like this, so you can make a bunch of different shapes, small platforms, whatever, and make a level of those. Now, yeah, I'm going to fill out, oh, sorry, I'm going to delete it for now, and I'm going to fill this in. I just want to show you something else you can do, is you can drag over, select these, Control D, and now you're rather doing all of these at once. You know, that's very easy as well. You don't have to just do one block at a time. You just can just take the block you need and then do it a million times. So yeah, I know this is a grueling task, but once you just make a few simple platforms and then put them in prefabs, then you can just use those infinitely. And if you want to make different shapes in the future, you can do those too. So yeah, as you guys can see, again, it is frustrating, can be a little time consuming. Yeah, once you make a few, that is the game done. And there you go. Whoa, so we can make a new empty object. Where to put it? For now, let us just make an empty object wherever. Pull a big platform. Take that, drag it to the top here, and now we're going to take and move it in the middle of this big platform. Drag everything inside. Entity Pack Platform, and close it. Now we can put this in prefabs, and give it a box height 2D, which I forgot to do, sorry. Move it up. Now the only one you really want to make sure is perfect is right there on your walls. Oh, sorry about that. I'm sorry these videos aren't as, well, let's say, professional as the others, which they're not really professional, but it is just, it's a little bit of a grueling thing and hard to explain and be like clear about, and I'm just struggling a little bit to wrap my head around it, so I apologize for that. But I hope you guys understand the basis here. So all you're doing is making whatever shape you want with these blocks, and then just putting them into an empty object, and hit apply if you did that the order I did it in. And then you have your platform prefab. You can delete it, drag it in. Oh, nice. Control D, we have multiple. So you see it's very easy to do. Now, I'm not going to make anything too complicated because it's very time consuming, and this is just a YouTube tutorial series. It's not a game I'm going to make and play or whatever. It was just a tutorial. So I'll make a small level of sorts. It won't really be a level, but it won't not be one. So if you want to be precise with things as well, just make it -5. -5. See, now it's perfect. This one, -5. That's 15. 20. Make it 25. Then all you do is take a small platform, move it in like so. Say, oh yeah, kind of right. There you go. More or less. Move it along a little bit. We can make this 10. So now if you press play, again, make sure all of these are tagged with terrain. Click apply. Oh, sorry, you cannot do multiple things at once. This one, don't apply this one. But this big platform, apply this one. Platform small, apply this one. You can also do it in the actual prefabs right here. You just got tag terrain. So just make sure it's terrain. Otherwise, of course, your player can't jump, and that enemy that moves left to right won't know where to go. So as you can see, we have a little level now. Very simple to do. We can actually also take our camera on our player now and move it down a little bit, just so we can see a little bit better. Because now, of course, we actually have some terrain to see, so it's not as ugly. And there you go. That's a very simple, very weird and ugly. Not ugly, but just weird. Now, you might see these little lines going in between. And a simple way to fix this is all you do is you go into the platform, and I know this is annoying again to do things like this. To the object, like a square, which of course is in here. Change the color to the color of the ground. You take this square, go to your scale tool. With the square, of course, it will be behind all of this. And just make sure it's in there. It shouldn't be showing outside, but just make sure it's in there. Take the square, we're going to scale it all the way through, which again you can't see, but it is there in the background. The reason for this is the snapping is sometimes, the snapping is not always perfect. You'll see these little lines in between things because the snapping is too perfect, so while you're moving, it's weird. But now, since there is this square in it, if we press play and move, of course, it's not happening anymore because there's something of color in the background. Now, if you're ever making a side-scroller game, whatever, and then remember to apply all, then it's very simple. You just make the camera's color the color of the terrain if you have something that fills the entire screen. And that's a little bit of a cheat, but it works. So again, you just make a square in your platform, Make sure it just meets up with the edges slightly. Move it in there, slightly smaller. Change the color to this, and hit apply. Now, I'm going to show how to do the chains, and you can do random things, like we could just take another small platform, we can move it to the same position on the x-axis, and just move it up, maybe to 5. Let's take it to 15. Let's say 18. There you go. And then you're just going to take a chain. So let's do chain large. Take chain large. Move tool. Move it up like so. Just attach it to the center. So like more or less there. Hit Control D. Move it down. We actually need the medium chain. Let's move in the medium chain. Keep it there for now. And now let's do platform hanging. I see it as a hanging platform. So we'll say we want it about there. Let's see. Let's get it to the exact same level as the platform. So what he does is, since it's pixel art, which is very nice, what he does is move like that, and it's faded in. Take the red arrow, just move to the right. More or less about where it has to be. So you can see it's 18 on the x-axis, the perfect point. Take the other chain. Don't know why the medium chain's up here. Move down to the bottom. Take the chain. And then just make sure the squares line up properly. No, it can be a grueling task. It doesn't have to be that precise, but there you go. And now we have the illusion of a hanging platform. Again, empty object, platform, hanging, big, no, medium. Put them in there. Oh, sorry. No. Take them out first. Take this, move it along. Just put it about there. Take these, move them in. Make this a prefab. In here, in your chains platform. Done chains. I don't know why I called it that. You can call it whatever you want. It's in there. Now we have this. We can just take actually both of these. Move along a little bit. Because a player cannot jump that far. Which, actually no. Let's take our player and up the movement speed. Let's make it 7. So now if you press play, you should be able to run along, jump, run along, jump. And we're on a small platform. Jump. So yeah, that's a simple basis. I'll show you how to do the other platform as well. So let's move both of these back to 18. Let's do 20. So you can see, oh, they're too far away. What will we do? Do the C line platform. Move along. And we're just going to take it, drag it in, and just make sure it lines up with the pixels. And there you go. As you can see, it's not perfect. Slide it up slightly. Move it up slightly. There you go. Again, it is not perfect. You can fine tune these exactly to the pixel they have to be. But there you go. So now if you press play, run, jump. And then, oh, we have the platform. Jump. I forgot to press spacebar. Struggling to even get past the first little part of this level. Oh, no, something's wrong here. That is not me being terrible. Jump. I see. Okay. Give me a second to figure out why this does not work. Because it should. All it is a box slider, and it is tagged with terrain. Not sure why that won't work, but I will figure it out. I'll see you guys in 1 second. So, I figured out the issue. What happens is your player slides along, and it thinks it leaves the box collider, but it's already inside another box collider, so it doesn't detect that it went into another one. So all we're going to do is we're going to find, okay, there's a box collider of this platform. We're going to take the land platform, edit it, and we're going to move the box collider out. And as you can see, now they're not together. You can see there's a tiny gap. I'm going to click apply all and then save. This is just to make sure that the prefab for in future use should be like that. I haven't actually tested if this will fix it, but it should. No, sorry. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, there's a few small problems. Let me fix that real quick. I will have to apologize because it's a little embarrassing, but for the life of me, I cannot figure this out. I've been working on a different genre of games, and it's been a while since I've been working on platformers. So I have to apologize. For now, this will be on hold. I will come back to this in the future and work on this game more as a season 2 of this series. I'm just going to delete it for now. You can jump onto those platforms and you can make minor changes to make those work as they should. But yeah, I apologize for that. I know it's annoying because, you know, it's another build block not being used now. Yeah, so this is basically the base is done. Just making platforms, hanging platforms, whatever. And then what we're going to do actually is we're going to take our start sign, move it in, close these platforms so you don't have to see everything in them. Take the start sign, move it along like there. Maybe, yeah, just there. And this is just a stupid little like start, like, oh yeah, go that way, go player. Indicator of where the player is meant to go. We're going to take these and delete them. I'm sorry, I know it's annoying that I only made these small. They didn't really give examples of weird shapes you can do. But, I mean, you can play around, figure that out. It's not anything different than what we're doing. I'm going to take the big platform, move it in, drag it along. About 32. And for now, this is going to be the winning side. Yeah, this is just a very simple example of how to do this. And we're going to give it let me just find it real quick, the finish line. We have so many prefabs. There's the finish line. Move it in. Put it where it has to be. Move it up a bit, whatever. There you go. Now, yeah. We're actually going to put this on the background terrain, background sorting layer. Give it the -1 in the order of layer. Click apply all. This is just make it so if it's faded in like this, when you press play, this will be in the background of this. It just makes it quicker to put things in. Actually, no, let's just leave it on default, but -1. And click apply. Alright, so there you go. Now, as you can see, if we press play, we have made a very simple level 1. You run, you jump along, get to the finish line, and bam, you win. On to the second level. Now again, all you do is you just go into level 2. You see, oh, there's nothing here. What do I do? We'll get to that in 1 second. We're going to make one last thing. We're actually going to create one last thing, and that'll be the finish. We're going to put the gem in. Bam, we got a gem. Control D, make a few of them. We're going to give the gems are on a tag, as you can see. Then we're going to go into our script. we're going to go into the game manager script. We're going to make a public float gems, which by default will be 0. And then we're going to do what we're going to do is as on our player, let's do player stats. We're going to go into the on collision enter, on trigger enter, there, on trigger enter. If col dot game object dot compare tag gem, then game object dot find object of tag game manager dot get component game manager dot gems plus equals 1. So all that does is if the player touches a gem, it goes and it says, hey, game manager, your public float gems. If it was private float, it would not be able to reach it, but because it's public, it can. Your public float gems is equal to whatever it is, and then plus 1. Very simple. And then we're going to go back into Unity and we're going to make a new script. Just keep it in core. We're just going to call that gems. Wait for it to load. Also move this gem down. Go into the gem, we're going to drag the script onto it, the gem script. Hit apply all. Go back into your script editor. Open the gem script. And just very simple, on trigger enter. 2D. Destroy. Game object. Very simple. If it touches anything, it gets destroyed. We can change this because it's a little annoying. Because if an enemy touches it, it'll break too. All we can do is if col dot compare game object compare tag player, then destroy. Very simple. That's a gem now. Leave it. And we're going to go back to Unity. We're going to make in our canvas, we're going to make a new UI text mesh pro. We're just going to call it gems and make it 0. Let's make it black. Let's change the font size down to something like 28. We're going to take it, we're going to move it to the top left. Change the scale down a bit. Not too small. About right there. Click on this, shift click, top left. And let's move it along a little bit. In it, we're going to make a UI image gem icon. Just going to move that along, like about there. We're going to scroll down. We're going to find the gems sprite. Drag it in. As you can see, the scale of it is completely wrong. The width should be about, let's say, 60. We're going to make it 10, 20. As you can see, a little bit too small. Let's do 15 by 30. Move it along. Move it up. Just so it's next to the number. See, there we go. And now we're going to close this. In our core, we're going to make another script. Call it gems UI. Just wait for it to load. Now, take your gems UI script, drag it onto your gems, UI text. Now, after you made that script and put it onto your gems UI, it is very simple. You just go into the script of it, and we're going to make a private text mesh pro GUI called text start text equals get component. Nope, that's the wrong one. Get component text mesh pro GUI, and then we're going to make a update on it and call it, what we're going to say is text equals game object dot find game object of tag. No, sorry. Find object of tag. Game manager dot get component game manager dot gems. Now you're gonna see this error, and it was just a very small mistake, which is a text dot text. Huh. Sorry about that. I don't know what's happening here, really. Interesting. Give me 1 second to figure this out, because this is normally what just works for me. I might be getting a little bit confused because I'm still not very used to the text-based pro stuff. So just give me 1 second. So as you guys can see, I made a very simple and dumb mistake. Now I'm going to do a little bit of a cheat to do this because I cannot really figure out what's going on right now. And there you go. That is it. Now, yeah, well, this will work if we go back into the game. You see I have 2 games up. I just went to one of my other games, which is just a little background project. You just got a sneak peek at it. I haven't worked on that for weeks, but it had the script I need. I just need to double check why it doesn't work. But this should work now. So the gems will be the value of, well, let's game manage floaters. We're gonna move, jump at the platform, jump again, pick these up. As you can see, the number goes up. So there you guys go. That's a very simple scoring system. And we will expand that in future. For now, it's just a placeholder. And of course, I hope you guys enjoyed. I know this video is very long compared to the others, but we got a lot done, and all that's left to do in the next video is make a simple player animation and sound. And that's it. Then we're actually done with the game. Hope you guys enjoyed. There's only 1 episode left, and I'll catch you all in the next one.